Your body has the capacity to self-correct
Yeah.
from these tension patterns. And so my job as a practitioner is to facilitate that. I give your body some information, and then your body has a chance to process it and go, oh, this sounds like a cool thing. And so the shoulder can drop on its own.
Wow.
And so it doesn't have to be painful.
Wow.
And people aren't sore the next day.
Yeah, I would have never thought that taking something a little bit more past the threshold to make the body recognize that it's not in the proper position would cause it to snap on, so to speak, and like the shoulder's high, but now push it a little bit high. Oh, it shouldn't be up there, and now relax into it.
Exactly.
Be Nice Individuals Podcast.
Hey folks, this is Thaddeus on the Be Nice Individuals Podcast, which is hosted here at the Flagler Voice Podcast Studio. I have a very special guest in studio. Say that all the time, and they're all special. Anne is truly special. Not that the other people aren't special, but she's truly, I like her energy. It's really cool. Ann Andrews, Wellness with Ann. Ann, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. So you were around the corner. Everyone always has that issue. You know, finding a spot. We're going to eventually get like a sign out front to make it a little bit easier. But it's kind of where we are located. It's kind of like a warehouse. And it's specific. The studio itself is a room in one of the bays of the warehouse. Works out nicely. You know, Alan Lowe owns the studio. Makes it work out even better because I don't have to pay anything. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Less overhead, man.
Yeah. So tell me about your practice. Tell me about what you do.
Well, my practice is called Wellness with Ann.
Yeah.
And what I have to offer is very unique. It's in St. Augustine, Florida. Prior to that, I've been here for about 8 years now. And prior to that, I was in the Gainesville area.
Yeah.
And the body work that I do is called orthobionomy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm licensed to practice massage therapy, but my specialty is very unique from a body work. It's very gentle and it's very subtle. And it's very effective for addressing so many things in the body, especially tension patterns in your muscles and in your joints. I can work with organs. I can work with your lymphatic system. And it's actually been around since the 70s, but most
really?
people don't know about it.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it started in the 70s.
Yeah.
It works with the lymphatic system.
It
So
can
like
help,
the
yes.
swelling and stuff. Am I thinking correctly about that?
Yeah, it
Okay.
can, when I say lymphatic system, it helps to move the fluids in your body. So
Okay.
it can help move the fluids in the lymphatic system as well as the circulation.
Okay. So now when you say that, I'm thinking like speeding up recovery potentially. If somebody has some type of injury, you can work with it. You know, because I'm thinking like the fluids in the body, they need to get to a certain area, those healing factors in the fluids. Am I on the right track? I may just be talking.
What I focus mostly is muscles.
Okay.
Muscles and joints.
Yeah.
I can help address structural imbalances. I can help address conditions like fibromyalgia,
Oh, wow.
aches and sprains, you know, and the body work that I do also helps for recovery. It helps people get ready for surgery and also be able to recover from an injury even
Yeah.
or surgery as well.
Yeah. So I was on the right track then. I was on the right track.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I got it wrong. Because I hear you. We talk pretty regularly, and then I hear your presentation every week. And it's like people with pains and stuff like that, healing post-surgery. And in my mind, I've always envisioned like moving kind of the pain away. And I'm,
Yeah.
yes,
So
no.
You're close.
I'm close. Okay.
So
Tell me the truth.
The way this works is we're not trying to fix or correct what is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. We move the body in the direction of ease.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
for instance, if you have a shoulder that's higher than the other one because the muscles are shortened in that area, you know, other modalities are going to do what they need to do to address that.
Yeah.
In orthobionomy, we actually raise that shoulder even higher because
Really?
because it exaggerates that tension pattern. And so using a little compression and a little traction and maybe a couple of other things, it helps your nervous system and your brain to recognize that the muscles in that shoulder are tight and elevating it.
Really?
And so you just wait a little while, you just hold it and support it. You know, when your body can feel safe in that way, then the muscles can lengthen and the shoulder can drop on its own.
Really?
Yeah, so your body has the capacity to self-correct
Yeah.
from these tension patterns. And so my job as a practitioner is to facilitate that. I give your body some information, and then your body has a chance to process it and go, oh, this sounds like a cool thing. And so the shoulder can drop on its own.
Wow.
And so it doesn't have to be painful.
Wow.
And people aren't sore the next day.
Yeah, I would have never thought that taking something a little bit more past the threshold to make the body recognize that it's not in the proper position will cause it to snap on, so to speak, and like the shoulder's high, but now push it a little bit high. Oh, it shouldn't be up there, and now, relax into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your muscles and your joints have what we call these proprioceptive sensors. And so they give information to your nervous system and your brain. And so when your shoulder's high like that, if it's been like that for a long time, that becomes your new normal.
Yeah.
Your brain just ignores it. It's not life-threatening, and
Right.
it's not going to pay much attention to it. But when you raise it higher, the proprioceptive sensors get that information, and then they pass it on to the brain and then through the nervous system. And so then the brain can recognize, oh, this is higher,
Yeah.
you know, and then it can release.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Revolutionary. I had
Yeah.
no
the
idea of
body
that.
is amazing. It has some amazing self-healing capacities, you know. It can get caught, you know, if you have an injury or repetitive movements or you're simply overtaxing your body. So sometimes it doesn't remember how to do that.
Yeah.
So using body work like orthobiotomy can help remind the body that it can. It helps it to remember.
Yeah. Now, you have a very cool story, too, about how you got into it. You want to share that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a little bit about my background. Before I got into doing body work, I was working in retail for many, many years. And then when I moved to a desk job, that's when I started to experience a lot of pain in my own body. You know, I have scoliosis. And so sitting at a desk all day, within 6 months, I started to realize my body was just not compatible
Okay.
with that kind of work. Plus the job was pretty stressful. So it launched me on this journey because I didn't know what I was going to do next. It got to the point where I couldn't work that way anymore, and it got pretty intense.
Yeah.
I tried many different modalities. They all helped me somewhat, but I still could not self-regulate. I could not come back into balance. And then along the way, I discovered massage therapy, and I loved doing massage therapy with people. I got licensed in that with the intention that I wanted to help people doing that. And then I was introduced to this bodywork, orthobiotomy, and it completely blew me away by how gentle and how effective it was.
Yeah.
So it helped me to heal, for sure. And so this is what I do with my clients. And in addition to that, I also offer what we call bioenergy therapy. There's a mat that they lay on during the session that delivers a signal via pulsed electromagnetic field.
Oh.
And it does two very important things. It helps with blood flow, and it also helps to calm and reset the nervous system.
Nice.
So it's very complementary to what I have to offer people.
So I was I guess I still am, like the bodybuilding world, powerlifting world. And people, when they're lifting heavy weights, it taxes the nervous system.
Yes.
And could something like that assist them with their recovery potentially?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's incredible because there's a lot of people out there that like to lift heavy weights, and it's especially we're going into this new year, right? You're going to have a lot more people in the gym potentially hurting themselves, going to Ann to get a massage because they got into it too fast, too quick. Like, you know, I tried to lift the gym on day one, and not a good idea. But yeah, just to shorten that time period with the nervous system to kind of get it reset. Definitely, if a person's in that field of powerlifting, that could definitely help them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Following proper body mechanics, of course, is important when you're weightlifting. But there's also this thing, that we develop these habits of how we move
Mm-hmm.
and how we stand. So there may be something that weightlifting person is doing in the way that they're doing their squats or whatever. So in orthobiotomy, we can help identify those movement patterns
Yeah.
and introduce a different pattern
Yeah.
for your brain to check out.
Yeah. So you offer a very gentle massage, you said.
Yep.
Now that's great for maybe like also the elderly here. Like if
Yes.
they're thinking, I don't want to go get a massage because they press too hard and elderly skin is more sensitive
Yeah.
and you're more likely to bruise and all this stuff. But a gentle massage. Have you ever had somebody come to get a massage and they're like, I expected like pain, or like I expected it, and did it work? And then they're later they come back like, actually that worked and I didn't expect it that it was actually going to work. Have you ever had that experience?
No, because I usually educate my clients
Yeah.
in advance
Yeah.
what to expect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will let them know that this is a different form of body work, that does not require deep pressure or deep tissue,
Yeah.
but it can be just as effective. So they
Yeah.
already come prepared and kind of having an idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
Initially, when I started offering this body work, I did have a client that just loved deep tissue, and I would do that with him. And then as I got skilled at this new body work that I was learning, called orthobiotomy, I told him, you know what, I would like to introduce something to you that I think you'll like.
Yeah.
We can still do the deep tissue if you want, but I also want to add some of these techniques that I've learned. And he said, okay. And after a couple of sessions, he realized, you know what, I like the orthobiotomy better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I imagine orthobonomy, am I saying it right?
Yep.
I imagine that also can help a practitioner because they're not having to use as much in the way of strength. Is that accurate?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's easier on the practitioner. We do teach people proper body mechanics because you can still injure yourself if you're not using your body properly when you're working with someone on the table.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a lot easier on the practitioner.
Yeah. Because massages, people don't think about that, but that's a full body workout for the massage therapist.
Yes.
And it's repetitive too, right? So I imagine potentially carpal tunnel or anything like that. So if you have a modality that is gentle on both people, then they're not receiving that pressure that they're putting back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, let the people know first how they can get in contact with you. And also, I'd like to transition into another area. But first, let the people know how they can get in contact with you.
Well, there's two ways. You can visit my website, wellnesswithann.com, or you can call me. My number is 386-538-1918. I do free consultations, so we can chat on the phone. We can also maybe do an online call as well. And that way we can talk and see if this would be a good fit for you.
Absolutely. Now, I want to transition. So I know you from networking
Yes.
in BNI. So BNI, I think, is a hidden gem for anyone who, has just started a business. It's almost like a cheat code. is that accurate?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to know how BNI has helped me?
Tell me about it.
Oh, I'm happy to share this with you. It is one of the best decisions I ever made to help me with my practice. I mentioned earlier I'd been here 8 years. And prior to that, I was living in the Gainesville area for the past 37 odd years. Well,
Yeah.
my husband talked me into moving to St. Augustine.
Yeah.
And I was reluctant because I knew, I'm gonna have to rebuild my practice,
Oh, yeah.
get new clients,
You're right.
all of that, and I had no idea how to market myself or promote myself. And so when I moved to St. Augustine, I was introduced to BNI and I joined, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
A lot of body workers don't really have skills in marketing or promoting themselves, but that's one of the things that I got from BNI.
Yeah.
How to present myself more professionally, how to talk to people. And it's 40% of my business. It has
Wow.
been amazing
Yeah. Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helped me to build relationships professionally and personally as well. It's given me opportunities where I can educate people about what I have to offer. Yeah, it's been amazing. I can't
Yeah.
say enough about it. If
Yeah.
you want to grow your practice or your business, join BNI.
My introduction to BNI, having no background in sales coming down here, my wife's cousin told me that I should go check out one. And so I just showed up at a BNI. And like, who invited you? I'm like, me? Am I allowed to do that? They're like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, this is like a hidden world for someone that has no idea of what sales is like. It really opens the possibility that you can do anything as long as you figure out how to network. You can go and, because some people, they have in their mind, oh, I don't want to be, what to say, a nutritionist, because now I'm going to have to find all these clients and all this stuff, and I'm not good at that. Well, join a networking group such as BNI, and they will come alongside you and help you in that process. But you're also going to learn those skills of networking, how to present yourself, and how to help others. I think that's the most important thing. Givers gain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the philosophy, where we teach each other how to find referrals for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just doing business with each other. We're helping each other in so many ways. And you're right. It really taught me how to network better as well and feel more confident doing it.
Yeah. And you're so even keel. Like I know exactly what to expect from Ann. I'm like, she's always professional. She's always on point. Her time when you do your weekly presentation, you're always right there on time. Whereas like some people go over, which it happens, but you're always on point, and I love that. Like Ann Andrews, Wellness with Ann, at your service. I'm like, I like it. I love that. I know exactly what to expect. Yeah,
I learned through my BNI training.
Oh, really?
I actually practice what I want to say.
Yeah.
I time myself, so we know we only have 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. So what you have to say matters.
Right.
So you got to be on point.
Right.
So I always write myself a little script. I read it out. I time it. It's like, oh, I make a few changes here and there, and I practice.
Nice.
I practice doing it, and that's why most of the time it comes out pretty good.
So you're like one of the people that Brennan was talking about. So what is it? 30 seconds you need to practice for. What is it? Every minute is like an hour or something like that. So like 30 minutes. Is that accurate that you might practice, or less than that?
Yeah, I don't have to spend that much time anymore.
Okay.
Because I've been doing this for 8 years, so it just takes me about a half hour now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I just talk to myself in front of a mirror or on the way to the BNI meeting.
Look, Brennan, I don't practice that much. I have talking points.
It pays off to have a little script and then just read it, and then the more you practice it, it comes out naturally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So let the people know again how they can get in contact with you for a modality that's gentle, that can help them with recovery, pre-surgery, post-surgery. And
chronic pain too.
Chronic pain.
If you're
Chronic
in pain
pain
all the time. Yeah.
Did you say something about like the gut and inflammation? Did you say anything about that?
I can help with inflammation in the gut indirectly.
Indirectly.
If you really want to address that, you need to talk to someone like a functional medicine practitioner.
Sure. And we actually need one.
Yes, we do.
In our chapter. Because Ann would be happy to have you. I'm sure you can refer back and forth. Functional medicine practitioner. And shout out your contact information for the people out there.
Absolutely.
Again.
So again, visit my website, wellnesswithann.com, or give me a call, 386-538-1918.
It's been fantastic having Ann Andrews, Wellness with Ann, on the Be Nice Individuals podcast, which is hosted here at the Flagler Voice Podcast Studio. Again, folks, this is your space. Businesses, come in here, shout out your business, individuals with ideas. Come in here, this is your space. Pretty neutral here. Also, political candidates, I say this all the time. I want you in here. We have call-in features where you can connect directly to your constituents. You can take calls live on the air. If you want to be completely transparent, that is. I can just sit over here and watch. You take these calls. Well, we can make it happen. But anyway, again, this has been Thaddeus and Ann Andrews on the Be Nice Individuals podcast, hosted at Flagler Voice Podcast Studio. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.